Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Dialogue Tree. This is episode 5, season 2. My name is Daniel Padilla, and as always, I am joined by my wonderful friend Matthew equals 3 Peterson.
Hello.
And for the very first time since we've been doing the show, we also have a very special guest today, Josh Smosh Ruttenberg.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, dude.
That equals 3 like Ray William Johnson. Like
of course,
that.
dog.
I hate that you said that about me.
Why, man?
I don't think it's worth having this conversation. All
right.
I'll let whoever's listening interpret that how they want.
That's fair. I thought about it because I thought about calling Josh Smosh just because alliteration, and then I figured theming, just like older YouTube people, whatever. Yeah.
That's strange that that's an older YouTube to people because that's like part of what I grew up on. I didn't watch Smosh, but I knew of him.
Yeah, I think Smosh was like the very first like channel that blew up like that, like virally. I remember Smosh since I was in like fucking, I don't know, like 6th grade maybe.
Yeah, it was like the proto YouTube.
Right.
Everyone made a machinima with their Halo 3 Forge mode.
Right. I did grow up on equals 3 though. I will say I was a little older. I remember watching equals 3 like around 10th or 11th grade, like later high school kind of deal.
I mean, I guess it stuck around for a while because he had like made money off it,
right?
Even after it was like past its prime or whatever.
Yeah, he like made it into like a whole thing. Like he like had like producers and like a bunch. Like he actually like got a crew working behind it, as opposed to just it being him. You know what I mean? After a while,
a lot of YouTubers back then, like you struck gold if you got popular back then. That was like before the adpocalypse and everything too.
Right. There weren't as many people trying to do YouTube like professionally, right? So if you just got big like that, you kind of, you were kind of made pretty much.
And also, everyone is recording like 480p Call of Duty montages. So like, if you had a nice camera, that you were like just miles above in terms of raw input quality,
you would just automatically be more attractive to people and whatever.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, shit, Josh, welcome to the show, man. We've been trying to get you on for a while, haven't we, Matthew?
Probably 3 months. I don't know.
Well, I think that's the first time you asked me about it, but like I only like open Steam to play a game and then I exit it. I never leave it on. So I think there was like one time like 3 months ago where I left Steam on for a couple hours, I guess, and then then you messaged me. It's like, hey, do you want to join? I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know.
But that's totally fair, man. Yeah, we're happy
I'm happy to be on though.
Yeah. I was gonna say we're definitely happy that you in the end made it in the show. And I don't know, you want to update us on your life, man?
Yeah. So I moved back home to New York, and before that, I spent like a year doing like 5 classes a semester, like going for like a computer science degree. Mm-hmm. And then COVID happened, and then I ended up moving back and having not much to do. So I've just been like coasting, basically. Coasting and waiting for Cyberpunk. Those are the 2 parts of my life right now.
Dude, it's out.
I mean, if you got a collector's edition and then you got it shipped to you, yeah.
Yeah, or if you have like $90,000 to buy it scalped.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been waiting since 2013 for this game.
Isn't that crazy?
Most people, I think, have learned. Yeah, it's crazy. Most people have learned about it like 2 years ago.
Right, but it's been like 8 years, yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty much been like the entire generation, right? Damn.
Almost 2, honestly.
Right, yeah, almost 2. No kidding. Are you, Matthew, you talk a lot about Cyberpunk, but I still haven't been able to gauge whether you're actually looking into playing it or not.
Oh, I just have no idea if, if people are like, yeah, this seems pretty good when, the embargo is lifted or whatever, I'll be like, yeah, I'll get this. Like, I'm definitely interested in it. I just also think it's really funny how, like, much culture is around it getting delayed and like this crazy conspiracy discussion about it.
It's exasperated by COVID, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Right. People having to like code from home and whatever. Yeah.
But yeah. I just hope it's good.
I hope so too. If you have any questions, I've been low key obsessed with it and like following it a lot the past couple months. So forever. So like if you have any like questions you think, because I've watched all like their like previews, their Night City wires, and like that like previews the lore leading up to the game.
I was gonna say there is a lot of like this is not like an original IP, right? There's like there used to be like either novels or comic books about it. Is that right?
Yeah. It originated based off like a 1980s like tabletop RPG game, basically.
There it is. No shit, that old.
Yeah, that old. And so they contacted the creator of the game. I think his name is Mike Pondsmith. Yeah, and apparently big devs have been like trying to like buy it from him or get him to license it to him like forever, because it's a sick ass IP. Devs have been like looking forward to like playing that game for a long, wanting to develop it. Yeah, acquiring it for such a long time, and like so CDPR, like I don't know the story, but they like jumped in and like right after they made The Witcher, I think.
Right.
They probably had a lot of money to offer.
A lot of they're now the biggest game dev in Europe. So
is that right?
Yeah, they passed Ubisoft with just The Witcher, basically.
I was gonna say that
I don't.
Witcher. I don't know that they had any other games. Not that I know of, but it's just The Witcher. That's wild.
They had The Witcher and some like back in the 90s like CD-ROM stuff.
I will say, I mean, I don't know a lot. I own The Witcher. I haven't. Yeah, I put. For my standards, I put decent time into it. But I will say, like, you know, like the presentation on the Nintendo Switch version, which is the one that I have, is pretty neat. And I appreciate touches like that, right? Like now everyone's talking about how the medium is transitioning into being like fully digital and whatever. But I'm still a little bit purist in that way, that I like to own my media physical. And so like I bought The Witcher physical, and it comes in like a nice cardboard box with like lore of the game and like the just the IP, right? Just like what Witchers are and what other races exist in this like universe and kind of like history like that, right?
Right.
And it comes with like a nice map and everything. And I don't know, that's like not even Nintendo did anything like that with fucking Super Mario 3D whatever collection. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They really care about it, and The Witcher was based off of old Polish like Lord of the Rings, basically, if you want to summarize that. And I think they're really good at bringing like something with past material, I guess, to life, because it's really hard to create a game, I think, just off the cuff, like here's a new world, let's like get you into it, you know?
Yeah.
Right. But it's also hard to like adapt, right? To like create like a licensed game is like, there's many ass licensed games.
It's just like, it's not just like it, but it's similar to like when a book becomes like released into becomes a movie too. It's not. Right. Some could argue it's harder to make it into a game because you got to make it interactive.
Yeah, you got to make it interactive. Yeah, like engaging. You know?
There's not as much pressure for Cyberpunk. Is like people like that, but it's not like this hot new franchise like Percy Jackson or whatever. Or they're like, we got to get this out. Like
it's got
now,
the hype of one.
You know what I mean?
It's got the hype of one, and that scares me.
It does, but just because they're well known, so they kind of can take their time with it, which they clearly have. But I think that's why there's so many bad licensed games, is they're just like, hey, this movie is going to be irrelevant. Like next week, could you make a game? Just put like 2 guns and some objects.
You know, a licensed game that I hate, the Avengers game.
Oh, dude. Matthew, didn't you want to buy that game? It was on sale over.
Oh yeah, you kept bothering me about it. Yeah, do you know more about it? Because I've just like heard the funny memes about how no one plays it, but I haven't like looked into the core issues or anything.
It's just like a terrible gameplay loop, and it ran like choppy and slow.
Really?
And I really got into the MCU, like, and I'm actually I'm actually rewatching the whole MCU in order, like story order, not like the order that they came out. I'm in the middle of that, but like the Avengers game, like it was cool. I got over the voice acting. I got over it looked good, but it was clunky, you know? Like there was no variety. You just went into the same like 2 or 3 like wide zones with like killed a bunch of enemies, like completed an objective, and you were done. And you got a number increase for your power, just like Destiny. Destiny 2. Like it's just a number going up, and like
it ends up being like irrelevant because like the enemies are just getting just as powerful, right? So
higher number enemies. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so like you might feel a little more powerful in the beginning, but then it's you can get new skills too, but like it's just lacking depth, and like it's a live service game without a soul. And you can make a live service game with a soul, but this one doesn't have it.
Did you actually like sit and play it?
Yeah, I did.
No shit. Did you at least finish the story or anything? Or
I got 20 hours into it. I didn't finish the story, but
no shit. After 20 hours, how long is that game?
Well, it's like it's designed to keep you.
It's designed to grind
stuff,
you know. Yeah, it's got some like all the cool skins are microtransactions, or like you get like I forget the exact like way it worked, but you get like a free like game pass, like it's not game pass, excuse me, like a season pass for each character.
Yeah,
and you can like just by playing that character a bunch, you level up that season pass character's level, and that gives you like premium currency, but it adds up to like a single skin once you've played like for 40 hours or something.
Right.
You know, like it's really not. It doesn't do it well. Like I think free to play can be done right, but this
of course
And I love the Avengers enough to try it, but it wasn't good. It just wasn't.
Yeah, that's a shame because like there's so many cool fucking things that you can do with an IP such as like the Avengers. You know, like even
their fighting games did pretty well.
They're gonna fight
game,
to like make it work well, I think. But
you think so?
Like they had a patch come out like a day or two ago, and like
Gotcha.
I think with Marvel backing it, they're gonna dump money, but I'm doubtful I think it's gonna die as like a slow death.
It's hard to ever get like the peak number back up once it goes down to like 2,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
like No Man's Sky has done it. I don't know who else has.
Yeah,
right.
Final Fantasy 14's done it. Those are the diamonds in the rough. But
right.
Also, those games have free updates. You don't have to like buy the updates to make the game good. That's a great point.
Yeah, like it shows they just want to make the game good, not make more money.
Right. Yeah, that's a shame. And it's funny too because I remember seeing like the first when it was announced at like whatever E3 that was 2018 maybe, and I remember being like, "Damn, this looks pretty cool." You know what I mean? It just I don't know. It's kind of sucks that they just kind of botched the whole thing.
I mean, it's that power fantasy everybody wants, right? I
right.
really think
right.
so. Like
right,
that's
right,
like
exactly.
that's like if you make that right, you're set.
You're right, exactly.
You're set if you make that right, but
you have cool characters, funny characters, all sorts of shit. You know, cool
and the
universe.
MCU is huge.
It's kind of weird to not get the cast to voice it too. It's like so iconic.
That's mountains of money too, but that's so much money too.
That's true.
So I don't know. We're into like December, last month of the year. Would you guys, just because we have Josh here today, would you, Josh, would you have a say in like what do you think your game of 2020 has been?
Ooh.
I would say
or a handful maybe. If you can't pinpoint
I'm gonna say what comes off the top of my head, and then I'm gonna go open up like Steam and look at my history and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna say Hades.
Oh shit, dude! Everyone's been talking about that game. Yeah.
It's spectacular. It's I don't know. It's changed the way roguelikes should be played. Should be made. I mean, not played, and played, I guess too. Because it. Have any of you guys played it?
I haven't. I've been super curious about it.
I do want to try it. Yeah.
So like I've played Isaac for about like I think it's like 400 hours in Isaac or something.
Hell yeah.
And like, well, you remember when I showed you it, and I think I showed you it one time when I came over. Yeah, and I got really into it for a good
150 or whatever on it, or what. I have an insane amount in Isaac too because you showed it to me.
But once you learn the items, you get into this really nice loop and everything. And but Hades is more like, you've played any of the other like super giant games like Bastion or Pyre.
I did play Bastion. I really like that actually.
They've got that like polish and storytelling down in a roguelike. And they do it. It's like it's paced well.
Interesting, dude.
And you want to, you look forward to dying. You don't want to die, right? But you look forward to dying because they like drip feed you the story and like tease you along and keep you going like better than any roguelike ever will, or some like story-based games. Like you really get into these characters. I think.
Right. I think that's wild how they're able to tell like a linear narrative story in a fucking roguelike. Like I understand having like a lore, you know, like Isaac has lore and like the Gungeon has like a like overarching lore, but none of these have like an actual narrative that drives the game. And I think that's wild how they're able to pull that off in Hades.
And Hades has an end, like story-wise, they have a real end, like legit end, and they have technically an epilogue, which I haven't finished yet, but a real end. And I'll say about like the storytelling is they weave in little details to make you think it's not procedural, and like you're really going through like a real story. Like
that's interesting.
You're holding like an item for the first time. And well, okay, so sorry, I'll explain the game a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, like you're Zagreus. Your name is Zagreus, and you're trying to escape Tartarus, which is like the maze leading up to like the to Earth, basically. And you're the son of Hades, and you're just trying to escape. And you have these boons appear whenever you like to help you along the way. They're like the equivalent of power-ups or items, basically, you gain. And then, like, when you pick them up, like, gods will start talking to you, and there'll be a little tidbit of story. It doesn't feel like Isaac, where it's like, oh, I found this random thing that says this, or a random Gungeon room that has, like, 3 lines of text. It gives you, like, a real progression run to run to run. And they know when they react to when you die, or, like, what items you're picking up. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but, like, the gods will, like, talk with each other a little bit, too.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, there's a lot of, like, interaction and like awareness that like of your character rather than like you're just a random sprite fighting your way out.
Right.
And I feel like that really little stuff like that really makes a big difference in a game. It's changed the genre, I think.
So the reason, I don't know. So I was always just kind of, I guess, cautious, just because the only reason why I've been cautious about Hades, despite all the hype and everything, was because I don't know, like games like Bastion and Transistor, they go for so cheap on the Nintendo Switch eShop. They go to like prices of like shovelware type prices, and I'm like, what are these games? Why are they always so cheap all the time? You know what I mean? Like, so that just made me. But then everyone's been telling. Not I've had a couple people tell me about Bastion, tell me it's like a really good polished game, not only in terms of gameplay but also like in terms of the story. And I just never really like expected that from a game that goes for like $1.50 every month on the eShop, basically.
It's like 6 to 8 years old though. It's really old. That's why
it's really old.
It's very old.
Oh,
so
shit,
it's just like they
gotcha.
don't care. Like in terms of making money off of it, not like
Yeah,
people don't care about it. And
Gotcha.
you like I remember back at Clark, you like making music a lot, right, Daniel?
Yeah,
Or like playing
hell yeah.
music.
Hell yeah.
I will say one of the things that really adds it together that ties like the emotional part of Hades, and I mean literally the emotional part of Hades is that
Yeah.
the music is amazing in that game.
No way.
And so like just plug in some good headphones and like jam out while playing the game, and it's a really good time. Like I really recommend it.
Shit, dude, I think I've been convinced. I don't know, how many hours have you put into the game? Just curious.
1 sec.
Just trying to
Too
gauge
many.
like story wise how long it would take you to like get through and whatever. Just curious.
I'll open up my save. But the thing is, it's been in early access for like over a year before it released. And I was I've been playing on the same save, and that playtime is cumulative, so I don't know.
Right.
Gotcha.
I would say like
That's
maybe depending how like good you are at roguelikes or get a hang of the combat, it's like 20 to 40, you know, like it's a good chunk of a story, but it's not going to be like up 120 hours in and like I finally got to the end. Like it's
Gotcha.
like maybe even like quicker than that. Like 40's on the high end. I'm like really like highballing that, but maybe towards 20, maybe less even.
Right.
Like you have to beat the game 10 times basically, and you get the ending. But then if you've beaten the game 10 times, you're going for the epilogue and you're playing more. I guarantee that.
Gotcha. Very cool, man.
It seems like most roguelikes are just like, here is infinite achievement that will unlock one more item if you do them. And this achievement takes like 90 hours to grind out, like just through luck or whatever. I mean, that's more Isaac. You can just outplay shit in Gungeon if you're patient.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Daniel, I think Bastion was probably like $20 or $15 when it came out.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a huge reduction.
Gotcha. I mean, that's fair because Hades goes for like 25, right? Even Hades, like as much hype as it gets, it's not like a like AAA price type game, you know? Yeah. I think I've been pretty much convinced. If it wasn't just because I have already so much shit in my backlog, I'd probably just go ahead and cop it right now. So is that what you're going with, you think?
That's my gut, and I think so.
Right. Very fair.
I'm not a shooter guy, and I played Doom Eternal.
Oh, yeah.
And that is amazing. That's amazing
too.
Doom Eternal is great.
I didn't play The Last of Us Part 2, and I didn't play...
that was pretty debatable.
I didn't play Final Fantasy Remake. I didn't play that. Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
I mean, Final Fantasy 7 Remake isn't even done. It's not the whole game. So
yeah, and that's a good point if you want to like count out like a game of the year. So
I don't know. It just bothers me. If you want to pick it, it's fine.
But I understand the point. Is what I'm trying to make. But I think Hades really like transformed like a genre in like a pretty major way, and made it like mainstream almost. Like, people who normally don't like roguelikes play this game, beat it 10 times, and like, holy shit, this is an amazing game. And nobody's gonna say that for Isaac. Like you beat it 10 times, and you're like, like I got the hang of it. It was hard. Like I'm done. If they get that far, that is.
That's what I've gotten from Hades too. Like a bunch of like the YouTube people that I follow. Like that's what I've heard a lot of them say. Right? They don't even like roguelikes, but the Hades like kind of like got them into it. You know what I mean? Matthew, how about you, dude?
I'm trying to think what came out this year.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same. All I can remember is like fucking Animal Crossing and Castlevania. Not Castlevania. What's it called? Bloodstained.
Oh, Bloodstained 2.
Yeah, Bloodstained 2.
Bloodstained 2 is a lot of fun. I don't think I'd pick it for best game of the year or anything, but it is.
This is your opinion, man. Like the game of the for you. whatever you had most fun
Yeah.
with, I guess, you know.
That's the thing is I don't think I was like watching the release schedule. I just played a bunch of like random stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't keep up with a lot of like the hot new games or anything, so I don't.
Right.
That's why it's so hard for me too, because like
It's kind of weird.
I put a lot of time into I didn't put a lot of time, but I did play No More Heroes when it came out on Switch like a month ago, and I loved that. But that's
Yeah,
like
does that
fucking
count?
exactly. It's like a decade old game. You know,
Well,
so
you
I
could
don't
pick
know.
it if you like.
I'm still thinking. I don't know.
I mean, I really liked I really like Katana Zero actually. It's really
Oh
good.
right,
And I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that came out this
How
year,
was that
so
game? I heard of it, but I never really picked it up.
it's like Hotline Miami, but not it's not like top down, and it's a lot more reasonable, I think, to kind of deal with everything. You still die in one hit, but you can slow down time and you can parry the bullets, so you don't. And you have a dodge, I think. Yeah, you have a dodge, so you're not like super defenseless like in Hotline Miami. You just kind of get flattened when you're not like Twitch reacting to stuff.
That's good. I'm glad it's more reasonable.
That's I'm pretty sure it came out 2019, and that's the only thing I'm like in my mind that I'm confirmed did.
Did Slay the Spire come out the beginning of this year?
No,
Did
it's
it
been
like
out for
release?
I don't know when it officially came out.
Okay,
Yeah, because I've had it forever. Slay the Spire is also a good pick.
It's got mods. I love the
Um,
mods too.
Fucking Fall Guys or Among Us.
Man, I love those games, but those should not be game of the year. That can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
I
Also,
think
Among
Animal
Us is old
Crossing
as
has a
hell.
good argument too.
Oh, that's true.
I think
Yeah,
if we're
Animal
gonna pick,
Crossing for like cultural impact.
yeah, exactly. Like it's not just like,
But it's also
like the
I
normal
would
gamer
say
community.
I would say it's a pretty like super polished game, and like the content that they've kept adding is pretty cool and everything. You know, not that it's a game that I consistently keep coming back to, but like I could objectively tell you that yeah, it's a super polished game. Maybe when it comes to like playing online, it gets a little dodgy, but like in terms of like the game itself, I think it's a really well made game. You know,
I'll pick Katana Zero. Sure, it's pretty.
Alright.
If I'm
I'd
being honest,
recommend
my game of the year is going to be Cyberpunk. I know it is.
it.
that's fair too.
I've been waiting 8 years for
Yeah.
it. Like
God.
I've watched so much of it.
Yeah.
Like I loved Mass Effect growing up. That was one of the first, like, I think it was a 360, and I played through all 3 of the Mass Effects on that system, and I loved them.
Nice.
I think that was like I played WoW growing up and League of Legends and stuff like that. But like what
Right.
really got me into RPGs was Mass Effect, I think. And I think that trilogy is amazing, and I can't wait for the remaster of it. By the way, like that's.
I didn't play it when I was young. I played it. I think it was free. It would say get people to download GOG or something. But I have
shit.
have it for free for some reason. And I played Mass Effect 1 and 2, and it was really good. I haven't gotten around to the third one, but yeah, I'd say it still holds up.
It was an amazing story till the end of 3, and it just
Okay, well, I haven't gotten there, so maybe I should stop.
I'm sorry, that was the meme. That wasn't the meme. That was basically like you should play 3. I think you should.
Okay.
It's a great game regardless, and I love how Mass Effect 2 handled the story in the end.
Right, I've heard Mass Effect 2 is
And-
insane.
And like so many little things throughout the whole story, like can change so many little parts of that ending, like barrage of like, you know what happens, but like the whole ending,
I won't say anything.
the crescendo at the end of the story, like that
Yeah.
was like it could go so many different ways, and I think that was amazing. And people
that's cool.
expected that. Basically, people expected that complexity and that depth and that like caring for the characters to carry over to 3, and you almost got it till right at the end, and you feel like you got shafted.
This has made me think of my actual answer. It's the Outer Worlds, dude. I
oh,
forgot about
nice.
it.
Yeah.
I just love New Vegas, honestly, and I got to play New Vegas in space, and the controls were like finally reasonable, and it's kind of funny, and it just got a lot of character. And I didn't play it more than once through, but I really enjoyed the one through I gave it, and I might go back again when I forget what all the quests are and stuff.
Right.
I want to go back and play that. I remember starting it, and I just was busy at the time, and I just never got around to getting back into it. So I kind of want to start fresh and like kind of dive in like completely,
Check it out, especially if you don't like capitalism. I just pretty much the joke of the game, the one joke.
I will say, Matthew, I am upset that you didn't pick Shenmue 3 as your game of the year, man.
I don't.
That's the game of the decade. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm trying to see a list of all the games that came out this year to see if I played any, but I don't. Besides fucking Animal Crossing and Bloodstained 2, man, I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, I played games that came out this year as like remasters and shit, like No More Heroes, which I loved, but I don't know. I also played a lot of Rayman Legends, which I fucking loved as well. That's a fantastic platformer.
I heard great things about it.
Yeah, it's a really great time, and it's funny how like it also like weirdly incorporates like licensed music as well. Like it incorporates it into the game, and like some of those choices just like really surprised me and things. I don't know. I had a genuinely good time with that.
It is weird when you're playing a game and you hear a song you actually know from somewhere else, because that really just almost never happens.
Yeah, and it's the thing that like one of the songs specifically that they chose for this is a song that I hold very dear to me. So like like randomly hearing it pop up in that game, just like I don't know, they had that like sort of like weirdly emotional connection with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
So
nice.
yeah, I had a great time with that. I played a lot of ukulele and the Impossible Lair, but that's also like a game that came out last year too.
Right.
Yeah, shit. I don't know, man. I think for now, I'd have to go with fucking No More Heroes.
Well, maybe if we talk about it more, you'll remember something like I did.
Yeah,
That
right.
was an old DS game, wasn't it?
No More Heroes on the Wii.
Wii.
On the Wii.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was thinking of then. This was some DS game that I was thinking of.
Yeah, No More Heroes is an interesting time. I've talked about it on the show. It's just like weird, right? It's such a weird game, but like despite how weird it is, it just kept me hooked, And I think that's valuable. Lots of very particular sense of humor too. I don't know, good time.
Okay, I was thinking of a completely different game. I just looked up No More Heroes.
Okay.
I was intrigued by the art like way back now that I see the picture.
Yeah,
but
so it's basically, dude, like a fucking like a exploitation movie in a video game form. You know what I mean? It's like hyper violent. The sense of humor is like super crude, right, and everything. But like it's weirdly fun, right? It's just it
like
has
Saints
so much,
Row, like Saints Row wacky, or like a little different than that.
A little bit more cartoony. Well, I mean, to be honest, I've only really played like the first couple of Saints Row, which are a little bit more grounded. The first couple, right? I feel like the 3 and 4 and
I was
all
thinking
those
of
guys.
3. Yeah.
So maybe if you're thinking about the latter Saints Row, maybe I think it could get along those lines. I feel like they could be pretty comparable. But like it's just cool. This feels like a very like autorial type game, if that makes any sense, right? Like you see a lot of like the creator's personality behind it. It's not just wacky for the sake of being wacky. Like the dude definitely like it's basically his personality turned into a game, and I just find that like super interesting. Lots of particular sense of humor. You can like play with a cat, like saving the game is you taking a shit, basically. There's like a lot of things like that, right? The boss is it's essentially like a boss rush, like except like before hitting the boss, you like fight a couple of like those like disposable sort of henchmen, but then you get to the boss rush, like the boss fight. And they're all very interesting too, right? They all have like very distinct personalities and everything. It's just a good time, and the combat, honestly, it's not hard, right? It's not a hard game, but it's just so stylish that it's just entertaining to play all the way through, man.
Yeah,
honest, yeah,
looks
I had a
fun.
great time. And because I was interested in a lot of the YouTube people that I watched, they just hype up No More Heroes 3 because it was announced at some point. They've been hyping it up. And I never played the original, so like they got released on Switch, I might as well, So I ended up playing them, and I had a great time. So I've been converted, and I'm definitely looking forward to the 3 whenever it comes out next year.
I thought of another game. I didn't finish it because I had 2020, I guess. I got really far into it. I got Persona 5 Royale. It was amazing.
Oh,
it came out this year, and
yeah,
people might argue that like Persona 5 versus Royale, like it's a completely new game.
That's what I understand.
Right,
yeah,
and so the art style and the music, the storytelling, like it paces like real life simulation versus like dungeon delving with like adult Pokemon, I guess, if you want to do that.
Right,
JRPG kind of fashion, and like really good storytelling. They have some animated cutscenes that look like ultra HD, like high production, like anime, basically.
right.
Like some amazing cutscenes too, and it gets dark too. Like it's definitely a pretty adult game, but like I love it. I think that could be like the game of the year for some people.
Right. That makes sense. I believe that.
I'm honestly more excited to get a PS4 than a PS5, dude.
Well, because you can get a PS4, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like everyone's gonna be selling all their PS4s to try to scrape together $2,000 to buy their PS5.
It's so dumb.
And then I can play Persona, I can play Bloodborne. I kind of always wanted to play Nier Automata, but the PC port is completely unplayable. I've heard.
Oh, is it really?
All the Steam reviews are like thumbs down. It doesn't work on my machine. So
yikes.
There are patches and whatever, but I feel like I don't want to buy a game and like fix the game. Like,
yeah, of course.
No, it's like, yeah.
Right. That's
like when
fun.
like Dark Souls first came out. Was it Dark Souls 3 that was the terrible port?
Dark Souls 3 didn't work on PC for a while. Also,
yeah.
Dark Souls Remastered on Switch has ungodly poor audio compression. The music is really unpleasant to listen to. Yeah.
Right.
Like I haven't played a lot of Dark Souls, but the music's great. And
it is, and it's
you really need music
because it's kind of orchestral, and there's like a kind of like operatic singers, and when the music like spikes on that, it just kind of blows out the audio, and apparently it's pretty horrible.
Is Demon Souls only on PS5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could get a PS2.
It's a PS2 game, Demon Souls?
It might be PS3. I can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was PS3.
Yeah, Demon Souls looks really cool. Maybe one day in like 10 years.
Here's a dumbass story that I meant to bring up since last week's recording. If we don't have anything like else to add to like Game of the Year or whatever.
I think my pick is good for me.
Yeah.
I'm Cyberpunk, which is not biased, but
very fair.
Yeah, the game's overhyped, but it's gonna do great.
Yeah.
It's the most overhyped game I've ever seen.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like Cyberpunk will at least be like received well, but No Man's Sky, the disparity between the hype and the reception it will be worse.
Well, Cyberpunk isn't going to flop. I know it's not going to flop.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not going to be
people are going to think it's an action, like a crazy action romp, and they're going to hate it. It's an RPG. It's an RPG first. And like if you don't like RPG, like deep RPG stories like Dragon Age, Mass Effect, like Fallout, that big expansive like deep world, like you ain't going to like the game.
Of course.
Some people want their Call of Duty 8-hour quarter shooter and run. Like it's just the truth of it. And especially when the game's mainstream. I was gonna say mainstream, but that doesn't make sense.
And and No Man's Sky also, like we could say they broke the law or not, but they kind of it played into it by not denying features that people were into.
Oh yeah,
and it just kind of became like this nebulous thing that everyone had their own idea of it was going to be the perfect game for them.
Right.
So I think it's going to be the most overhyped game, maybe of all time ever, in my book at least.
Right.
That's fair.
Very fair.
But yeah, Cyberpunk is definitely super inflated, and there's going to be some mad people in the Steam reviews.
Exactly. People are going to like people wanted to save 2020. Like nothing can save a pandemic besides time and a vaccine.
Forget it.
I think it will be the first like real next gen game that comes out.
Right.
Yeah,
we were talking about that last episode. Nothing's really pushed it.
But all I've heard is like I've watched like some people in podcasts who've had like the 16-hour previews that have happened recently. And, and like all like their like preview episodes or whatever, and people are like grasping at straws trying to find like reasons they don't like. And like a lot of game reviewers do that, sure, but like I feel like they're like grabbing at things they need to be like, you know what I mean? But like they absolutely love like the immersion and the characters, and like that's all you need.
Yeah,
right.
And like they got like a deep enough RPG system with everything. It's like Skyrim, like whatever you like, if you don't know, like that's how it works. Like you start to like pick up like a sniper rifle midway through the game. You start using that for like a couple hours. You start leveling that stuff up.
Right.
It really is like dynamic and like your character. It's supposed to look great too.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I actually I'm one of the few people that got a 30 series card.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Lucky you.
So I'm ready and waiting.
That is the PS5 of computer gaming. Honestly, the elusive cards.
Yeah, and I didn't get off a scalper. I was on the first 2 weeks I was just like refreshing Newegg. I got nothing else to do.
Right.
Like
good.
Lucky,
yeah, good.
And I just got lucky, I guess, because I feel like it's even harder now.
I think I saw news precisely this morning. I think I saw someone talking about how the price of that, because there's a new one coming out. I think I saw something like that. Am I making this up?
They're releasing more. I don't know if there's a new model of it.
It's like drip fed, basically. Like but in terms of a new model, AMD has a new card coming out in like 6 days.
Okay, so that's probably what I saw, because I think I read it or saw a video or something about how this one card that you're talking about, like the price has like already like taken a bit of a dive since whatever new card has been announced. I don't know the names. I just thought I saw it like like at the corner of my eye kind of deal. You know what I mean?
It's just a complete mess. Like I'm really happy I got a card. I think I just got real lucky.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
that's excellent to hear.
Yeah, I got a 3080. I'm done for the next 3 years. Like for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. You know?
Yeah, like it's gonna be a while. His computer's just like computer science is exponentially steps off itself to get insanely more powerful like every year, you know?
And you're always going to be behind. You're always going to be behind.
Right.
I think that's okay if you just treat it like a phone where you're like, I don't need to get a new one until I'm like, it's really old and I do need to get a new one.
My screen's busted up. My screen's busted up of my phone. It's trashed, but like I don't use it enough to care. I really don't.
Right.
Like it works. I can see everything. Like, like some people care about that stuff. It's just not necessary. And phones are so expensive these days.
Damn, dude. Yeah.
Like even the mid-tier phones used to be like the flagship phones of what, like way back. It's in terms of price, I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Daniel, you have a story.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So Nintendo Switch, right? That's pretty much like the console, like the console that I use the most, if not the only console that I've been using over the last however long, you know. Yeah. And so, this YouTuber that I follow, he had like a sponsored video with like Satisfy. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like a company that's been making grips for the Nintendo Switch. Because like if you're playing handheld, it's kind of like it works, right? It's fine and it works, but like it's also the Joy-Con are so little, and you end up holding it kind of awkwardly, right? Because there's not a lot of grip for your hand. So like what Satisfy does, they make these grips for both the Nintendo Switch Lite and the regular Nintendo Switch, and it also has a bit of a stand, whatever, right? So this dude had a sponsored video and with his own like discount code and whatever, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna check this out because like I play my Switch portably a lot, and like I think this is cute, and I'll be helping this guy out and whatever. But I did also get an Amazon card from work, right? Just like I guess like a holiday little treat, right? I got like an Amazon gift card from work, and I was like, all right, maybe Satisfy fucking distributes their products over Amazon because I have nothing else to use this card on, right? So I go on Amazon and I assumed wholeheartedly, dude, like just genuinely assumed that Satisfy spelled with a Y and an E at the end would be enough of its own particular brand name that like if I just search for Satisfy, I would get the Satisfy product. But I typed in Satisfy and I hit search, and I just got a bunch of fucking dildos.
I knew it as soon as you.
And the worst part is now it thinks you want that. It's gonna recommend that.
I know, dude. Every time I go on Amazon, I get recommended shit like that. You know what I mean? It's garbage, man. It's garbage, and I wish I wouldn't. And the funniest thing is that I knew it, right? I knew it. Like as soon as I saw those results, I like face palmed and I like giggled to myself, right? Like I'm an idiot.
Funny.
Why did I ever think?
Did they end up having it in the real product?
I mean? Yeah. They did. I had to search for like Satisfy grip or whatever, and they did have it, but it was a lot more expensive off of Amazon than off their actual like website. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Oh, of course, Amazon's gonna upcharge.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, I still got it off their own website, and I still don't know what to do with the gift card that I got for Amazon.
Could donate that $50 to a Twitch streamer.
Oh, true.
Prime Gaming
to
or whatever.
Friend of the show, Ursadon.
Yeah, help him out.
Yeah.
Or Melee.
True. Yeah, that's also
going to charity. So
right. That was my dumbass story of the week. I don't know, Matt.
Pretty good.
Do you have
That's a good one?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to
add? No, I'm annoyed because I went to the dentist today, and
that annoys you.
Well, no, because I have to go back to the dentist this month.
That's even worse.
Because I had a cavity filled with what do you call it, an implant or whatever? Like who knows how long ago, but now it broke, so I have to go.
Oh, dude,
get it put back in. But it doesn't cost any money. It's just inconvenient and unsafe.
Yeah, and it's always just like uncomfortable to have someone doing some bullshit on your mouth,
Yeah, I'm sure it'll hurt.
Right. Wait, hold on, Matthew. Wait, you had a story about chicken salad that I wanted you to bring up on the show, man.
Oh, I didn't know you asked me to bring it. Yeah, sure.
No, I didn't ask you, but I wrote it down.
Yeah, so right at the supermarket they have a deli counter. So the first stupid thing is that they used to, obviously they can't pack the chicken salad for you because of COVID. That's fine.
Right.
And so now they sell prepackaged chicken salad in pre-measured amounts. So it's like quarter pound, half pound, whatever, full pound. And just like there's like in these pre-sealed jars that just say how much it is. But you still have to go wait in line at the deli and then just be like, can you give me this jar? Instead of just grabbing it from the table. They said when they put it on the table, no one was taking it. I'm like, who are these people who can't figure out how to like pick up the chicken salad? But so the real point of the story is that I'm at the store with my mom, and she goes and she wants half a pound of chicken salad, and she goes up to the woman and she says, "Can I get half a pound of chicken salad?" She says, "Sure." Hands my mom a container, and she leaves. She comes back over to me and she says, "Wait a second." This is a quarter pound of chicken salad. They got it wrong. So she goes back, waits in line again, and she gets to the woman, and she says, "You gave me a half pound. You gave me a quarter pound. I wanted half a pound." And she said, "Oh, I know. I didn't have a half a pound, so I just gave you this without telling you."
Wow.
Come on, man.
And let you walk away. And my mom says, "Well, can you give me 2 quarter pound, just another quarter pound, because that would add up to a half pound?" And the woman says, "Yeah, I could do that, but then the chicken salad wouldn't be mixed together. It wouldn't be the same chicken salad." And it's like, dude, I'm sure it all comes from the same chicken salad factory. Like,
Maybe like
it's
some's a little
fine.
like older than the other, I guess, and like it's
Yeah,
like it
but,
doesn't
like,
taste quite like but it won't make a difference.
no
I don't
one's that
understand.
picky about the
Exactly,
chicken
it's chicken
salad.
salad. It's not.
It tastes fine.
But even then, like your mom asked for a half a pound, right? So why
Yeah,
not
straight up, at least
bring it up?
tell her.
Yeah, at least
Just
bring it up. Like,
say,
dude, I only have
we
a
only
quarter
have
pound
quarter
packet.
pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird to just give them the wrong amount and not say anything.
But in the end, you did get your half a pound of chicken.
We did get it. We got 2 quarter pounds, but
Right.
I don't know. I'm just amazed.
Was it
by people.
was it good chicken salad?
Yeah, I usually eat a little after we go to the store, and it's always pretty good.
What was on it?
It's got God, what's the word? Celery.
Oh, nice.
Celery and like pepper.
Right.
Red pepper, whatever. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good story. I just remember you telling it this week.
I can't even comprehend
Right.
what's going on.
Yeah,
I got a little tidbit.
Yeah.
So the place I just moved, it's kind of like I guess a little city. It's like not really. It doesn't feel like a city, but it's like a little city, like little north New York City, about like 2 hours up. So like pretty far. And for some goddamn reason, we have a Snooki store in our town.
I don't know what that is. Hold on.
Like the person, right?
Yes, the person.
Who or what? I don't know.
She's from Jersey Shore.
She's a Jersey Shore reality star from.
No shit!
Like 5 years ago or some shit.
It's like SNOOKI, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And she has her own store, and it just blows my mind that a store has sustained itself for this long.
Yeah.
Like someone like Snooki has, and I see people like to come even during COVID times, which I think is like absolutely dumb.
Right, to get their Snooki products.
Well, people like to come up to the place is called Beacon. People like to come up to Beacon and like just like spend the weekend there, even if they're all like with their friends and shit. It's dumb.
Right.
And I see people like walking towards the train station with like Snooki bags, like I'm like, where in God's name, like how in God's name do you still have like the appeal to like go like buy Snookies? I don't even know what. I didn't even look at the store. I just thought it's crazy to me how some
perfume and whatever.
I was gonna get my question. What
it's
kind
probably
of
a boutique like antique place. You know what I mean? Like all this like random stuff they can mark up for a ton of shit. I don't know.
Right.
It's crazy.
Even COVID aside, like it's been so long since Jersey Shore was any relevant at all. I haven't heard Snooki in a long time, dude.
Wow, this person exists. Like,
oh my god, and is doing
it has a business.
Well-ish.
Wow,
it's like insane.
I mean, you gotta live after that reality show money runs out, I guess.
I mean, it's weird that celebrities just like turn into slightly different normal people after being celebrities sometimes, you know?
Like, I always feel like these celebrity brands are just like slightly below average or mediocre products just sold for their name. Like, I can't think of like most products that you have like a celebrity's name attached to it. You're like, like I'd rather pick like X or Y instead. Like, I can't think of
Yeah.
You've completely identified the business model.
I don't remember what like celebrity or athlete has it, but I know one of them like just owns a bunch of like Wendy's or McDonald's franchises, and that's smart, man. Like that's consistent.
Those are never going to go out of business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like, who needs to like license your name towards something? You just have all this.
Matthew, what are you going to do with your life once the Dialogue Tree hype dies down and we're a celebrity?
I'm gonna go on Twitter like Tony Hawk and just wander around and have people recognize me, but just tell me I look like that person and don't actually think it's me.
Right.
His tweets are hilarious.
Yeah, it's fantastic content. They always make my day.
Yeah. He just seems like, I don't know, he seems to just take it so well too.
He's
got
very
like,
humble and simple with all his responses. Like he just is like, yeah, tell me, Hawk. Like I could like, or like, no, I'm not. I could be like, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter that much to him, and I like that.
Right. Yeah. He doesn't like go out to like embarrass these people or anything.
No,
not in the moment anyway. You know, he just tweets about it after the fact. Snooki, yeah.
Going back to that.
No, we've been
a
going
little
on
strange
for about,
turn.
No, it's very good, very cool. We've been going on for like 55 minutes. I don't know if we should. What are you guys thinking? If we should be wrapping up? Any last thoughts?
I'm good. If you have questions about Cyberpunk, that's all I've had on my mind for.
Is it like GTA? Do you like drive around in a car?
That'd be cool, dude.
You do.
Oh, no
shit.
Yeah. So they there's like a lot of different types of cars in the game. You got like shit cars. You can drive trucks. You can drive sports cars. Like
that's sick.
And they all have their own like rundown versions and pristine versions and like stuff from different gangs in the city.
Right. I feel like that's really impressive.
Yeah. And so like they don't. Yeah. I've watched videos like of the interiors. The interiors look like amazing too, and like futuristic. Some got holograms. Some have got like wired on, like glued on dashboards and all this other stuff.
Snake, what have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
All right, welcome back again. Craig has done a terrible job and completely botched probably the last 5 minutes of this episode. So we're here. It's just me and Daniel. Josh, it was his birthday. He was probably having more fun than we are right now. So I didn't bother him to come do this stupid wrap up segment. But yeah, this is just to sort of have the episode not end abruptly.
Yeah, hell yeah. So first of all, apologies to Josh, whose content might have been cut out for the last 5, 6, 7 minutes of the the original recording. It was a lot of fun to have him on the show. Lots of great insights. And yeah, I don't know. I think from what I can remember from that conversation was, I asked Josh what his thoughts were about like having customizable genitalia in a Cyberpunk, just because I don't know, as someone who's like completely like extraneous to that game, who hasn't followed any of the development, anything about it, and I'm not particularly looking forward to it. At least I wasn't before having this conversation with Josh. It just seemed kind of to me, it just seemed kind of to be there just for like edge reasons, But no, Josh talked about it being just kind of being there for fun, because there is this kind of like nudity in the game, right? Like quite a lot of it apparently. And like, I guess it's just kind of fun to be able to like customize it to like look whatever you can have most fun with in the game, I suppose.
You can take a picture in photo mode and show it off.
Right.
There's gonna be a lot of that, like on Twitter, just people posting their cyberpunk dicks.
Yeah, can you imagine? Shit.
But yeah, it was pretty much just us talking a bit more about Cyberpunk. I think we'll have Josh back in a week or two when he's tried out the game to give us his actual verdict once he's finally played it. And we'll go more into that. I'll probably have played at least a little of it by then in 2 weeks.
You're thinking about actually like acquiring it?
Yeah, a couple of days after it comes out. So I don't know. Everything gets fixed.
Right. Yeah. Matthew, has anything happened since we last recorded that you wanted to like bring up?
Let me think. No, I mean, I played Among Us with Robbie Franklin, and he confronted Spencer about calling him a libertarian.
Oh no, dude!
Which he angrily maintains that he's not a libertarian,
right? And that he murders them instead.
But I think the idea that you are free to murder people based on their political ideology is a very libertarian stance. So I think he's just a libertarian that murders other libertarians.
Right.
And he's just kind of convinced himself he's not one.
And I was going to say, like, I guess being able to call yourself not a libertarian is also a libertarian right?
I guess.
All right. Well, I don't think I have very much to add except just apologies to Josh once again. It was a lot of fun to have you, man. Apologies.
Yes, great guest, great time.
Yeah. And yeah, Matthew Peterson, great talking to you on this lovely Monday afternoon, man.
Yeah, dude. We'll see y'all next time.
All right, peace.